Alrighty, y'all. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Appreciate you guys for watching. This is more than likely going to be my first YouTube video, I'm pretty sure. Usually we stream on TikTok most of the time. But I just wanted to go ahead and get this going on here. So we're going to talk about severe weather that's going to be going on in the plains today, and then we're also going to be looking at a now soon to be tropical depression, post-tropical cyclone 16 over here off the East Coast. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about severe weather. We're going to talk about another area of development that we're going to have going on into off the coast of Africa that could eventually maybe bring some impacts to the United States. We'll see what that does as far as things go. But let's talk about the severe weather first. So in general today, we've got a marginal risk and we have a slight risk. The marginal risk does extend all the way up into South Dakota and up into Wyoming, and then all the way down here into southwestern parts of Texas and even into New Mexico. And this is the first time we've really had a pretty decent shot at tornadoes, hail, and damaging winds. And so if you're looking at this, and you're in Nebraska and Kansas, you're into that slight risk as well. Down here to the Fort Worth, Dallas area, we have a slight risk as well. Even into Oklahoma, we're going to be dealing with that slight risk. So let's just dive into this really quickly here and try and get you guys the most information. Like I said, this is my first official YouTube video here, so we're gonna kind of just shoot this in the foot and see how it goes here. But if you guys are watching this, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Typically, like I said, I'm usually streaming on TikTok, so all of those credentials are in the links below. Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok is all on there. If you guys want to go to that, you guys can follow me on those and friend me on those. I appreciate you guys for being in here. Like I said, we're going to see where this goes from here on out, but let's just go with this. So like I said, marginal and slight risks here into Nebraska, Kansas, into Oklahoma, and into Texas as far as the outlooks go for this, right? So let's talk about what we're going to be seeing as far as the parameters, okay? Mostly going to be a wind and hail event. There is a tornado threat, and this is the first time we've had a pretty decent tornado threat in the plains in probably about a month, I would say. The last time we covered a storm outbreak that we had was up in Michigan back on end of July, first week of August, if I'm correct on that. That was on TikTok as well. But we do have a tiny 2% tornado risk down here for southern Oklahoma and into northern parts of Texas. So, Dallas, you're in that by a little hair. McKinney, Denton, Plano, you're in that. Paris is in that. You get up here, Norman, Oklahoma is just outside of that. Shawnee, Seminole, McAllister, Ardmore, Duncan, Durant. If you're watching from there, that's something you need to be mindful of today. We go over here and we go to Kansas and into Nebraska. This is where that bigger tornado risk is going to be. We're going to have more of these isolated supercells that are going to pop up. We do have, and I will show you guys this in just a moment, we do have a trough, okay? There's our low. This is going to be pushing off to the east here. This is going to help bring that severe weather potential today, tomorrow, and even into Saturday, maybe even into Sunday. We've got slight risk, and slight risk issued for the next 3 days. But this is something we're going to be dealing with as far as the damaging wind threat goes. Let's talk about this. So the tornado threat is there. Like I said, we'll be mindful. We'll be live streaming on TikTok tonight. If anybody wants to watch that, like I said, you guys can go and follow that. As far as the hail parameters go, we do have a 15% in the yellow for both slight risk, and in the maroon we have the 5% that does extend into the marginal. So the wind is obviously going to be a threat as well. Anytime you have severe weather, you typically have damaging wind as a main factor. We have a slight risk down here with a 15% factor for hail. Maroon is in the 5%, so that does include majority of the marginal risk. We do have a hatched hail threat here for Nebraska and Kansas, and this is going to be specifically for Broken Bow. We've got North Platte, Lexington, Kearney. We've got Grand Island into Nebraska. We've got Hastings, St. Paul. Some of these cities are pretty up there in population-wise, obviously, so we'll continue to watch that. And you get down here into Kansas, you get into Colby. We also get into Hayes and Scott City. So that is for the hatched hail threat, meaning 2 inches or bigger in diameter for hail. So we're going to be dealing with that as well as far as the parameters go on that end of things. And like I said, today is 1 of 2 days. We'll talk about day 2 now. Day 2 is going to be tomorrow. We do have, like I said, that trough is moving up to the northeast a little bit. It's going to stay in Nebraska. It moves a little bit north into more central and northern Nebraska and south to South Dakota. We're going to have a marginal risk tomorrow for Friday, for Spearfish, Rapid City, South Dakota. Here, you're right in the slight risk on the edge of it there. We've got Winter, we've got Chamberlain in that as well, and then you get down here into Nebraska, and we've got majority of the bigger cities. We've got Lexington, Hodrig's, Kearney, Hastings. So a lot of these cities are in a slight risk twice, and you might be in it 3 times because we're going to have another risk tomorrow or on a Saturday. So as far as tomorrow's listings go, we do have a 2% tornado risk for Nebraska. Like I said, that trough is going to be ejecting off to the east. We will have upper level and lower level winds helping present that tornado risk tomorrow. It is small, but it could go up, more than likely probably will. We do have a wind threat in the yellow, 15% for most of Nebraska, north central Nebraska, South Dakota as well. We get into the marginal risk in the green, and then that's where that maroon chance, that 5% chance of damaging wind is going to be. And then the hail factor for tomorrow as well. We do have a 15 and a 5% for the slight and the marginal areas. And then we get to day three. Day three is the last one that we've got on the list, and this is going to be the bigger day. We've been talking about Saturday on my other streams a lot. This is going to be that biggest chance, I think, of severe weather as we get into Saturday. It's looking more Saturday night, possibly into the overnight hours. So we're going to continue to see, like I said, this trough. It's going to eject off here to the east, bringing a widespread possible severe weather outbreak to southern South Dakota. We've got Nebraska in that again. We've got Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, and all the way down here into Fort Worth, Texas, and up and even into Minnesota. So this is going to be the bigger day. And in all honesty, guys, we might get an upgrade possibly to enhanced up here in the center, or this slight might expand out a little bit. I do think there is a possibility for an enhanced risk to come out, more than likely for Saturday if we were to get that. Could be tomorrow, you never know. But it looks more favorable for Saturday depending on where that trough is going to go to. Let's go back to our day one here, and let's time things out and see what we're going to be looking at today. As far as today goes, let me pull this up here, get my models going. We actually do already currently have active thunderstorms up here into northern Nebraska and South Dakota. So you can start to see these are left over from last night, and then in the morning we've had some conditional morning showers, a couple rumbles of thunder, maybe even some of these cells are producing some low to moderate sized hail up here. So up here north of Valentine, Winter, Mission, we've got some cells up here that are producing rain and showers and thunderstorms this morning. Nothing severe at all. We don't really have any severe warnings at all to talk about as of now, but this will change as time goes on tonight. We will be dealing with that as these storms continue to accelerate tonight. And then down here, obviously, into Texas and into Oklahoma and into Kansas and New Mexico, Missouri and Arkansas will have showers and storms for you guys tonight, possibly going severe. So, like I said, the actual low itself is still way off over here, but it is producing that possible dry line setup where we're going to see those storms and showers this afternoon, and obviously to the severe possibility for tornadoes, wind, and hail. Like I said, let's go ahead and time this out and get you guys going with this. As far as the simulated triple HR goes, let me make sure I'm using my right model run here. Like I said, here's our low way off here in Idaho. You can clearly see that spinning counterclockwise there. It is helping enhance Gulf of Mexico moisture coming up here from the Gulf. We do have those upper level winds that will be coming in tonight, tomorrow, Friday, and then Saturday. Just another thing that we're going to have to watch out for. But as far as the timing goes of this, more of an isolated supercell threat today, and then we might have an MCS possibly set up. We get to about 3, 4, 5 o'clock this afternoon. Storms are developing in South Dakota. You can see up here, we're dealing with these storms here in South Dakota and in northern Nebraska. This could be an MCS, basically a mesoconvective scale system. We're just dealing with damaging wind and hail, maybe an isolated tornado. We get down here into Nebraska, cells are popping up, starting to get thunderstorm activity down here into Oklahoma and Texas, continuing to watch that for you guys. We get to later in the afternoon hours. These are the cells that I want to watch out for. If you're in central and southern Nebraska, these are the ones that have that best tornado chance. We do have that possibility for more of these discrete cells to become tornadic. They're on their own. They have more of that energy that they can gain. That upper level and that lower level jet will start to kick in as the nighttime goes on, and into the evening hours tonight, we'll have that process take hold. So these are the ones that I'm going to want to watch to possibly see. And you can, like I said, see that trough spinning off over the west over here, bringing that enhancement, showers of storms as we get closer into tomorrow and Saturday. But more isolated cells down here into Texas, Midland, Lubbock, Amarillo. We'll have to watch out for some isolated severe weather for you guys. Like I said, mostly going to be a damaging wind and a hail thing, if anything. And then these storms really start to fire off. This is going to be a longer evening, I think, in my opinion, on things. Starting to see these cells backtrade a little bit. We're seeing more storms on the backside of these other storms that form here. Like I said, into South Dakota, south of Rapid City, north of Cheyenne there as well in Wyoming. We're starting to see some storms pop up, but this is going to be the main area tonight. Isolated supercells could produce some tornadoes. Like I said, mostly going to be a hail and a wind event, but we do have that tornado threat that we have to be mindful of anytime we have severe weather. And then we start to get storms down here into Oklahoma, watching storms here, like I said, in Kansas as well. This is around 11 p.m., 12 o'clock Central Time and Mountain Time tonight, 1 a.m. Eastern Time that we're still seeing this possible development here. And then, this continues, guys. We're going to be dealing with an MCS overnight tonight. I'm pretty sure on that end of things. Long clusters of storms. This more looks like a damaging line of storms coming in through most of Kansas and Nebraska here. We'll have to really, really watch this. Maybe even something else up here into parts of northern Nebraska. We'll have to watch that as well. But you guys get the idea. And even more storms possibly moving into Fort Worth, Dallas area. So we'll have to really, really focus on these storms tonight, but I do suspect that these storms are going to more than likely go well into the overnight hours and into the morning hours, and we'll have a lot of thunderstorm activity tomorrow morning, waking up Friday morning for Missouri and into Iowa, and that'll kind of start the day 2 situation back in the same areas again for tomorrow. So we'll continue to update you guys on that, and then let's go back and look at the 12Z and just compare and see what we're going to be looking at tomorrow. These are the bigger model runs that typically do a little bit longer time periods, but I think after roughly maybe around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, Friday morning, we'll start to see the severity of these storms really start to weaken. But we will have wind, rain, and maybe some light hail in some places that are still seeing severe weather up here in the Central Plains. As far as, tomorrow goes, we'll start to update you guys on tomorrow as we get there. Tomorrow looks more isolated, but look as we get into overnight Friday night into Saturday morning. Are we going to see that trough really start to kick in? Overnight showers and severe weather possibly into Saturday morning. This is 2 o'clock Saturday morning possibly. Look at these lines of storms that start to develop into South Dakota. This is a damaging wind, isolated tornado threat. This is where I start to get concerned overnight, early morning hours. We're looking at this at 8 o'clock in the morning possibly on Saturday over here in Minneapolis as well. This is something we'll continue to update you guys on. This is about 48 hours out in advance, but we'll continue to watch it and see what this decides to do. But this is going to be what Saturday eventually sets up to be. And if we're going to start to see showers and thunderstorms overnight Friday with this upper level jet kicking in, this could really, really enhance that possible severe weather, overnight into Friday night and into Saturday morning, and then eventually into Saturday afternoon as that trough and low eventually move off to the east. As far as our tropical systems go, guys, one more thing actually, let me say real quick. If you don't have a severe weather plan for warnings and watches, make sure you have a way to get alerts on your phones, guys. It is very, very, very crucial to do that. It helps you, it helps your family, it helps just in general when something is going on. So let's please have a way to know what's going on when it comes to severe weather. Have that plan in place in case you get a tornado warning or severe thunderstorm warning that is that you have to be taken seriously with that. Please, please, please have those warnings and watches on your phones. Like I said, I'm more than likely, if you guys are new on this channel and you don't follow me anywhere else, I will be streaming on TikTok the next 3 days for all 3 of these events. So follow me on there. We'll be on there covering those storms live for you guys. I just wanted to give you guys that little bit of a peace of mind to let you guys know what was going on for that. But let's move over here to the tropics. So we now have post-tropical storm 16. This is what is going to eventually become a tropical storm and go out into the South Carolina and East Carolina border. Eventually, at some point, we will be seeing this get a name eventually. This just came out from the National Hurricane Center at 11 o'clock this morning. This is forecasted, like I said, to become a tropical storm, maybe a strong tropical storm at some point. Still got that 50% chance development zone between now and the next 7 days. Obviously, this is going to develop between now and the next 7 days. We'll continue to watch you guys on this. The name that we would get for this storm would be Ophelia, I believe is the correct name on that. It's the O name in the alphabet. So right now, sustained winds are sitting at 35 miles an hour, maximum wind gust to 45, pressure at 1012. This is going to obviously drop. Pressure will drop, and speed will go up. Wind speed will go up. That's how those storms typically work as they are strengthening. As far as where is this going to go to, off the East Coast here, this is looking like it's going to make landfall just north possibly of the Jacksonville Beach area. We'll see what this does. We do have that cone now out. We could be seeing conditions, tropical storm conditions felt possibly as far as Washington, D.C., which is crazy to say that. We've already had those tropical conditions when Hurricane Lee came in. Those were way off the coast, obviously, but those rip currents were felt. But this is going to be something that we're continuing to update you guys on, and we'll be live streaming and talking about this as well as time goes on. But this has been expected. We've been talking about this for multiple days now. Like I said, on my streams, like I said, expected eventually to become a possible 60-mile-an-hour tropical storm, and that is up there, guys. So we will see those tropical storm conditions. We do have tropical storm warnings now out from Wilmington, North Carolina, all the way up into Salisbury, what is that? Salisbury, Virginia. So there are tropical storm warnings that are officially already out now because of the fact that we're going to start to see those tropical storm conditions pretty much now and then beyond that point. So you're starting to see these cloud tops. This is that spin, that counterclockwise spin. Low is pretty much centered right there off the coastline, just north of Marsh Harbor, Bahamas. But severe and tropical storm warnings are there off the East Coast from North Carolina all the way up to Virginia Beach. But there's your cone, okay? This is the first time we've had a close-to-home system all year that just gets upgraded into a tropical storm, and this is something that we're really going to have to continue to watch. But the impacts are going to be there. Rip currents are going to be high, obviously, with this. The wind speeds, 30, 40, 50, up to 60-mile-an-hour gusts possible with these storms, or with the storm cells that do come in with the line. Or not with the line, but with the bands that come in. We're going to eventually, like I said, more than likely have a landfall around 8 a.m. Saturday morning. So please be mindful, Jacksonville, New Bern, Greenville, Kitty Hawk, Virginia Beach, Norfolk. We will be looking like we're having a landfalling storm at some point Saturday morning. And this is pretty quick between now and then, so we've got about a 48-hour window to get ready for this. But this isn't going to make hurricane status or anything. We're just going to be looking at more than likely a tropical storm, obviously. But you can see how big it is as well. It's a pretty big storm just in general as well. The wind field probably already extends 400, 500 miles out from this, just kind of looking at the cloud top layers here. But like I said, we'll continue to watch and update you guys on this one here. This is, as far as projection-wise, we can actually look at this. Let's look at the HWRF model and see what we've got with this. I believe this is our invest. That is not our invest. Bear with me, guys. Hold on one moment here. I'm just going to use the Triple HR model for this. All right, there we go. So like I said, center of the low pressure is right here. There's your outer bands. That's that outer storm tops that are trying to get themselves together to kind of get a closed-off low. We more than likely will have a closed-off low at some point with this. Excuse me. Going into this, you can see that counterclockwise spin. Look at that thing going. So, like I said, more than likely, we will have a named storm more than likely by this afternoon. When the 5 p.m. advisory comes out, or even the 11 p.m. advisory tonight, we will more than likely have a possible named storm with this. This looks very, very impressive just within the time that it has to get itself together. We've been, like I said, talking about this for many, many days now. This has been expected to become something. The models, the GFS and the European model, are both on sync with this becoming a tropical system, named storm, low pressure, whatever, but clearly we're forecasted now for a tropical storm. So Ophelia will become, or Ophala, however you say it, will become our next named storm on the list here. And this will, like I said, guys, just because it's just a tropical storm doesn't mean it's not going to bring impacts to, or strong impacts to the East Coast here. We are going to see high rip currents, wind gusts, they will be there, and heavy, heavy rainfall. We are expected to see 5 to 8 inches of rainfall for a lot of these areas, 3 to 5 in most areas in some of these East Coast places. But we'll get you guys more on the rainfall totals as we get to the next update later on. But like I said, as far as that goes, that's what we're going to be dealing with our tropical system close to home here. This is our other development region that we're watching. 70% chance in 7 days, 20% chance here in a 2-day window. This is now expecting to go southwest, and a lot of the models have this kind of going here. When we get past closer to the 7-day window here, as we get in the next week, we'll start to see what this is going to do. But a lot of the models have this going here. Some of them have this going off. Some of them have it going here into the Bahamas. So this is our next big wave, and this is the one that we really, really, really have to watch as far as going into next week. So when we get past this tropical system that we've got here on the East Coast, our next one over here to watch, we've been talking about this one for a while as well. But I'll give you guys more updates, like I said, as time goes on with that. I just wanted to get on here, give you guys a severe weather update, let you guys know what's going on. But if you guys do watch this today or later on, please go follow me on TikTok. We do most of our updates on there. We do live streams on there. I will be live streaming a lot over the next couple days, obviously, to talk about these impacts. But as far as today goes in general, if you are in the plains here, please be mindful of severe weather. We more than likely will get a tornado watch more than likely issued for Nebraska, Kansas, and that area up there. And then damaging wind and hail are going to be the big threats with that, but isolated tornadoes are possible. But if you guys are watching, I appreciate you guys for being in here. Like I said, this is the first live video, so we're just going to kind of give this one the best of what we can. We'll start to edit stuff, make stuff a little bit better, but I just wanted to get this one out here for you guys. I appreciate you guys that did watch. Like and subscribe the video. Do follow everything else that is in the that is for TikTok and all of that. I appreciate you guys for being in here. Appreciate all the support. You guys are super, super awesome. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Appreciate you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day and be blessed.